If you enjoy farm podcasts, then tune into Carrot Cash Flow for all things farm business. Join us as we explore the latest trends, tips, and stories from market farmers running businesses just like yours. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe to Carrot Cash Flow today.
Talk to me about that feeling. Like, so showing up, were you like selling at a local market kind of that fall, or were you just like people in the community? But kind of tell me about that feeling of like your first time going to market, and like, was it this overwhelming sense of like accomplishment, like we did it, we're officially farmers, like we're selling produce that we grew? Like, I'm just, because it's always like, I think back to my first market, and I actually recently just kind of did a little trip down memory lane, like through my camera roll, like finding some of those first little pop-up ones. And and now I look back and I'm like, man, if I showed up to market with, this one little table of a little bit, like I would be so disappointed. But back then I was so proud. I was so excited to have people come up and they're like, oh, the kale looks great. And then they buy it. And, and then you're always afraid, like, people are going to think it's too expensive. But yeah, what was that first couple of markets like for you guys?
Yeah. I mean, you see people doing it. You see people making YouTube videos of doing it. And for us, Instagram wasn't even that big in 2020. We were mostly like following our friends on YouTube. And it just was a complete coincidence that, Honey Tree Farm that we had followed on YouTube, they let us come to their farm down in Conover. So they're near Hickory. And we had like looked at their setup and met Tori and Casey. And there's some great first photographs. I think it was like June we were over there, and like Casey was showing us the BCS, which are like, oh my gosh, this is a tool. I don't know if we'll ever need this or want this. It was just so far in the future of our idea of what it was that was market gardening. But yeah, we fell in love with the BCS and ended up buying one ourselves. But yeah, those first markets, we were at the Hickory Farmers Market and we were at the King Street Market up in Boone. And we just, made cute little bunches of things. Little turnip bunches and little carrot bunches. And we made our first little greens bags. We would tie a knot in random size bags. We don't know what size it was or what volume it was. Like, I remember the first things, like somebody was asking, like, well, how much does it weigh? And we're like, I don't know. It's a bag. It's, there's 10 bags. We would list on Food Hub as a bag, approximately the same size that we would see other people sell. But we never weighed it. And we're like, oh, we should get scales and we should, start dividing this into weight measurements. This was way before we had like labels on our produce that say what it was. Now we have these flashy labels, and it's amazing to see how far we've come. We recently upgraded to zipper bags. A bunch of our customers, I guess, talked about these zipper bags and encouraged us to get them. And yeah, they're kind of a little bit better, and they keep the produce a little bit better, and they're a little bit easy because you just close it and you don't have to mess around with a knot or a twisty. But yeah, I remember being super proud. I remember also being like there's so many steps to get to where we can envision, like, Tori setting up there her big honey tree booth. And we have like 1 6-foot table with a tablecloth that we bought on Amazon and like 3 or 4 bunches of carrots. And it was really cute. And we saw other people use apple crates. So we found some old apple crates and we set up these, 2 apple crate stack. And, back before children, you could just throw all the heavy apple crates into your vehicle and unload them all. And now with children, we had to like make space. So our market display has definitely gone through an evolution of what we started from and where we've kind of finally kind of settled into something that we both think looks good and presents our vegetables good. And we're always juggling like do we have enough space in our market booth tent to even display everything that we're harvesting and presenting? And so that's been like a topic of conversation. Like, are we going to have a double booth for the first time? It's more possible to have a double booth because, like, vendors kind of shift around and we can occupy a double booth. But for the most part, we basically had this single booth. It's a juggle to try to figure out the flow in a single booth at all. Like, a double booth just works because you have this like in and out, and people can kind of see what you have as they're there. So obviously I would suggest getting a double booth, but it's hard to kind of fill a double booth sometimes. So it's something we're thinking about.
Today's episode is brought to you by Modern Grower, a proud retailer of the Sumi Soaker system. The Sumi Soaker system is an irrigation game changer. It offers multiple advantages for market gardeners. Even gentle watering without dry spots common with wobblers. The system is lightweight and portable, so you can use it with quick rotation crops. It's low maintenance with no parts to break or clog. It's versatile. You can use it for direct seeding, transplants, and cover crops. And it's very cost effective compared to overhead options. And maybe one of its best and most unique features is it can put down water in a rectangular pattern, which is very different than rotating sprinklers that leave circular patterns, often with dry corners and overwatered centers. If you want to learn more about the Sumi Soaker system, use the link below or visit us at shop.moderngrower.co.